What's up? It's Tiffany. Before we get started on this week's episode, please be sure to send us your requests at booshakalakapodcast at gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter X, Booshakalakapod. You can also find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Instagram at Booshakalakapodcast. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Razor Podcast. My name is Tiffany, I'm your host, and I'm joined by my co-host Pierre.
Hey boys, if this is your approach to women, you're not gonna get very far. Girls are not some toys that you fuck in the park. Your future depends on women. Don't you care about your future? Good. So treat them right, or else you're not gonna have one.
I know I've seen it.
Yes, you have.
But I can't think of what it is. Is it The Faculty?
Close, The Family. Robert De Niro, Michelle Pfeiffer.
Oh no, I've never seen that, darling.
Oh, it's on HBO Max.
Okay, well, we aren't here. But again, this is the Razor Podcast. We've decided to change our name.
No, we didn't.
Stop. Because of Miss Rachel in this movie tried to make Razor happen, and it never did. Anywho, this is the Booshakalaka Podcast, and we're going to be reviewing 1998's Disturbing Behavior. What a good year. Synopsis is, the new kid in Cradle Bay, Washington stumbles across something sinister about the town's method of transforming its unruly teens into upstanding citizens. That's a good one.
It is a good one. This movie,
cool with
however.
You didn't like it?
Hold on.
Okay.
I remember I've watched it multiple times when I was a kid, because James Marsden. So.
Beautiful young man.
Yes, but I didn't realize how short it was. I didn't realize.
I think a lot of this movie was chopped and screwed. Officially been chopped and screwed.
I was like we from clearly
Houston.
Like in Vantage Point, I remember it being way longer and way more complex and solving and giving me the answers that I needed. And it did. Watching it again, I was like, I have more questions than anything.
Look, were we gypped watching it on Tubi?
I think so. I feel like there were some scenes cut out. You know how USA.
I think the whole movie was an hour and 30 minutes.
USA throw a little sprinkle up in there and give you some deleted scenes at least.
They felt like they couldn't keep our attention as teens or early teens in the 90s. So all the movies had to be an hour and 30 minutes. Executives were not going to release it if it was an hour and 30 minutes. Like, I think that was like the rule, the golden rule back then.
The one with the gold makes the rules.
Another thing that was a very golden rule was having long ass fucking intros. What was that?
Okay, so it wasn't just me, because I was like, all right. Like, you know, I'm getting ready to write my notes, and I'm like, okay. I was like, that's a weird. I don't know. I didn't like the title credits. I didn't like when
dun, 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 dun. I was like, Casey, like it was a lot. I didn't like it either. Like, I don't like this light right here. I'm gonna move the light up here. It's better.
Oh my god. Okay. All right. So we start.
I think I wrote his name wrong.
Steve. You were Steve.
No,
wrong.
Mary. Who was with Mary Jo? What was his name? Phil.
Who's with Mary? Oh, was the jock.
Yeah.
Oh, baby, I don't know his name. These names. I wasn't even about to stress.
In my notes, I wrote Trent, but I know that's wrong because Trent is somebody else. And then later in my notes, I wrote his name correctly, and I was like, "Oh, I gotta go, correct my notes at the top." I never did.
I know you didn't.
But Mary Jo and oh boy, quarterback. He was the quarterback of the football team.
Okay, they're at Lover's Lookout.
They're at the same place that fucking Nicole and what was his name? David were at. Mm-hmm.
Oh, Steve. It is. No, I'm sorry. Wrong.
It's not Steve.
Never mind. No, it's not Steve. That was Steve. Yeah, wrong.
Yeah, I can't think of what his name was. I'll think about it later.
But yeah, they're at Lover's Lane, making out, getting kind of cute, hot, and sexy. And he starts talking about he doesn't want to have oral sex because he needs his fluids for the game. Okay.
I've heard guys say that before. I dated a football player long ago. Like this is when I was in college. And it wasn't like we were trying to do something and he said it, but I think I might have been referencing this movie, and he said, yeah, a lot of guys have that superstition.
Okay. All right. And so she's just like, fuck it. I want it, and I want it bad. I've never been so
after
desperate.
He told her ill. With that thing on your leg. Ugh.
Right, because when she had a tattoo, and he was like, "Why did you?" He was being very
Ugh.
judgy, very snobby. But
Ugh.
anyway, she goes in for the kill, and she starts giving him that and they
Slop on my knob.
like
on
on the
top.
cop.
Check it with me and do your job. Lay in the bed and give me head. Okay.
Okay. So she starts,
And then you hear the theme song. Ooh, got you where I want you. Okay.
Sorry. She is slurping. And so he's liking it, and then his eyes start to glow red, and he freaks out, and he snaps her fucking neck while she's down there. That now a new fear has been unlocked.
I don't
remember this on TV. I do not remember seeing that part.
See, I think this was one of those ones that wasn't rated R because I didn't remember. That is rated R because I didn't remember seeing titties. But when I watched it this time, I said, "Wait a minute."
But that's what I'm saying. I think we clearly nobody watched this in theaters, but I'm saying we watched it on TV. So
I did. I saw this in the theaters.
Yeah, it's definitely on Sci-Fi.
I was 15. I saw this in the theaters.
Oh, you did?
For sure.
Interesting.
I went over there to the Hardy Court Cinema.
I hate you.
Over there off of Courthouse Road.
I know where it is. And so I was just like, I don't remember that part. But yeah, he snaps her neck. The police are coming up because, of course, a lone car is on the cliff. And it's two cops. They come over. They get the guy out. And they're just, one cop, I guess he's like the sheriff, because he just starts questioning him about the game. The other cop looks in and sees that her neck is clearly broken, like Madeline Ashton's. And he's like, what the fuck? And so the little kid, he takes the guy's gun, shoots him. And then the sheriff is just like, all right, get out of here. And he
now.
He just dumps the bodies and leaves. And while this is all happening, Gavin, another main character, is watching from the cliff because he likes to watch jocks get their dicks sucked from afar.
No, he was just walking his dog, and his dog wouldn't stop. The dog was being nosy. So when he caught up with Scruffy,
he sat there, rolled up his weed, and was like, I'm gonna watch. But you can't see anything.
He'd have stuff to talk about the next day at school.
No, not for gossip.
He does gossip because he tells everybody about it. Remember?
So we're introduced to Steve, our main character, James Hot Marston. Wonder how old he is in this movie.
27, because he damn sure didn't look young. He looked so old. But he looked old, but he also looked like he could be a heartthrob of that time. He looked like he could be a teenager. So like he looked maybe like 19, 20. Yeah.
I feel like they didn't know what to do
27.
with him. Like he's the 90s fine, but I feel like they didn't know what to do with him. Like it's weird. But I mean, I can see that. Like he just wasn't in come on, you put Jack Black in a rom-com, you can put him in one.
He should have had the movie roles that Freddie Prinze Jr. got. Because I personally think that James Marsden back then was the better actor. That's all.
Okay, a better actor. Okay, I was like,
yeah, because I mean, looks wise, they're both. I got to give the edge to James, but they both are attractive guys. But like the one that's complete package visually to me was James Marsden over Freddie Prinze Jr. Like Summer Cat should have been James Marsden. She's all that James Marsden.
Well, they had to make a Mexican the landscaper. So you wouldn't believe that James Marsden was like cutting grass.
I guess.
I hate you so much for fucking saying. Why did you
think about it?
Why did you say Summer Catch? Say something else.
That was the first thing that popped in my head. I hate that.
Because the first thing I think
40 Days and 40 Nights. Was that him or was that Josh? No,
Hartnett? That was Josh.
What was the other one with Jessica Biel and Freddie Prinze?
That was Summer Catch. No, you're right about the movie. I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying I hate that you picked that movie. Like you could have picked any other rom-com.
Okay, it should have been James Marsden in Head Over Heels.
God, that was such a terrible movie.
I loved it. It's one of my guilty pleasures. I love that movie. The models were so gorgeous. Anywho, so we're on a ferry. We see the family rolling up, Steve and Rachel is very optimistic. She's like, brother.
That's not Rachel. Rachel
is shit.
Katie.
What's her name? Lindsay.
Thank you. random
I mean,
girl number one.
them's is easy names to mess up. So Lindsay and Steve, brother and sister, they're so happy, optimistic about moving to Cradle Bay, Washington. It looks so damp out there. Like my hair wouldn't stand a chance, baby.
I
My hair wouldn't
hate
stand
it.
a chance in Washington State.
I don't know. I mean, I guess they film movies in these locations because it's like dark and dreary for like a thriller, like what they were going for.
I think they needed a small town. That's what they needed for
Okay,
this.
because it
could have
does
been
not
like a
look
country.
appealing.
But and also, you know, you have to get to you have to get on a ferry to get to this town. So yeah, they need to isolate you. So this is the perfect location for this type of movie. But I'm not living anywhere where there's only a ferry coming in and out. But get out of here.
Yeah,
But they go to their new house and it is lush. It's nice. The mountains with the snow on top. It's beautiful. Like I go there for a nice little quick weekend getaway. But I ain't staying forever.
Okay.
And then one more thing. We were back in the house and they're getting unpacked and the mom's in the kitchen with the daughter's eating a sandwich. I hate in movies when they have people sitting down eating and they have a full fucking glass of milk. Who sits and drinks a full glass of milk with a sandwich?
Just the thought of it. Oh, like
I can understand maybe you're eating cookies and you have milk on the side. Okay. That's literally the only time I'll give it. Or you got a big ass bowl of cereal and you weren't sure if you got enough milk, so you need to pour some more milk in at each time. But it's not just that. She has a run-in with milk. Steve has a run-in with milk, and Chug has a run-in with milk. I'm like, what is going on?
Well, this may have been around the time when those commercials were out. Remember, like when drinking milk was like a big thing.
Oh, the
like,
mustaches.
Yes. And then they were all like, always like, to stop osteoporosis. Like, you know, milk used to be a thing. Like, they've shifted from it now because, you know, it's all about almond milk and we're not supposed to be drinking milk. But I remember back in the day, everybody was like, drink that damn milk before your bones
yeah, you're
crack.
right. You're so right. I didn't even think about
that.
They
thought it was like, you're going to be Mr. Glass if you don't drink this milk.
But yeah, we see that and I was just like, eh. And then we see Steve, his dad comes by and they have like a pretty strained relationship and we're just not sure why. And then Steve is sleeping and he has a nightmare. They don't tell us who the fuck the nightmare is about until like way later in the movie. And he wakes up and then the next day we go to school.
Yeah.
Oh, his name. Oh, no. Never mind. I don't know what that guy's name was. I'm still trying to think of the guy's name in the car.
I hate you. So Steve gets to school and it's like a regular school. It's like the faculty, but one step down. And you have like your superior jocks. They all wear Lettermans, look like fucking mess. And you have the debutante girls, and then everybody else is just fucking normal. I love the black inclusion in this movie, but I wish they would have kept black people out of it because this is some white people shit. I'm sorry.
I have. Don't worry, I'll cut you off when it's time. Don't worry.
So, you know, Steve shows up and he's just, you know, sitting there chilling, eating. There is an incident in the class. There's an incident in class where
Dickie
calls one of the snobs a peckerhead.
Trent.
A peckerhead.
We see our first half black.
They get into a fight in the classroom. They break it up, and then of course,
the way that Trent and Dickie were fighting unprovoked made me think that they had like a DL relationship outside of class that nobody knew anything about. The way they were acting.
Okay, you and this DL shit gotta stop.
DL thug lover.
Yeah, and he's sent off. Dickie's sent off, and yeah, and then you know, Steve's just sitting there eating a sandwich at lunch.
I will say, watching this, I was like, this is 90s fashion. Like, I don't know what the fuck these kids are doing nowadays, but this is 90s fashion. And this is where we saw our other black person. It was a young black woman. So we have 1.5.
Yeah. Baggy pants. I don't know. It was just I think it was individualistic. I'll say that. Like, you know, everybody had their own style. You know, you still had the goss. And we
dressed really comfortable back then. Like room to move. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Because that might not be comfortable for somebody else.
It's not comfortable for me. I don't like it. It makes me feel like I'm wearing Batman cape. And so he is accosted by the fucking town burnouts. We get Gavin and we get fucking Albino. I don't know his name, but I've hated him ever since I realized
his name.
He
his
grew
name
up.
Is UV for ultraviolet.
I hate to realize that he grew up to become the guy who was in The Heat. You haven't seen The Heat, have you?
With
Sandra Bullock, and
I mean, I don't remember the characters, but I've seen the movie.
There was one albino man, and that's him. That's why he's
he was
literally
really albino. I thought that was makeup.
No, he's really albino.
Oh,
like
okay.
Melissa McCarthy roasted him in that movie, and I was like, that's him. Like he hasn't really changed. He just like grew up. But
I feel like they might have put a little extra makeup on him because he looked real kind of ashy in this movie.
He looked the same. And I'm telling you, better look that man up.
I will. But I shall after this.
But they show up and they're just like, yeah, we want to sit with you, and they just spill all the fucking tea. I
hate this. I don't remember cliques like this in high school.
It gave Mean Girls. Like, when they're introducing Katie to all like, oh, well.
Pass that Dutch. Jiggle that, wiggle that, pass that Dutch.
They're introducing him to all the little cliques, and I don't remember this either. Like, it was like, yeah, the only ones I will say that were true was like band. Like, all the band people hung out, but it's because they spent so much time together with after school activities. Of course, they were going to become friends.
We had so I don't know. Did you have how many classes did you have each semester? 6 or 4?
Yeah, it was 6.
You had 6. See, we had 4 classes, but they were 1 hour and 30 minutes each. So during lunch, that class was our third period class was 2 hours to include 30 minutes for each person's lunch. So we would go to lunch, come back, go to lunch, come back, go to lunch, come back. There was never any kind of overlap in lunch. So if you didn't have first, second, third, or fourth lunch, you didn't see all these people. So that's why I think it was so far removed from us. Like, I remember the biggest cliques I remember are like the ones that were like into Korn, Limp Bizkit, that wore like the big Jinko jeans, and the skateboarders. That's what I remember. And then like the preppy kids that wore all the polo shirts and stuff. That's in the Birkenstocks. That's what I remember from high school. But everybody else was just everybody else. It wasn't as descriptive as here. He said motorheads. Like, I don't remember a clique of people that fix cars.
Well, because did y'all have an auto shop at your
Yeah, but it still wasn't like that.
We didn't have that. Maybe that's why we didn't have all that.
I was so waiting for him to say, and these are the blacks, but he didn't do it.
Mean Girls did it, but so yeah, it was just he just starts giving all this information, and and then he has to get creepy. Like, he likes a particular popular girl, and he's like, oh yeah, I masturbate to her.
Lorna,
just like some fucking. Like, sir, I just met you.
Lorna Doone cookies are so good. The preppy group is called the Blue Ribbons, and they're goody two shoes, perfect. Letterman, like you said, I guess they're on the football team, even though nobody plays a sport in here. Even though they were talking about the quarterback's arm, I'm like, what time of year is it? Maybe it's spring and football season's over, and they got to get ready for the next season. Not sure.
Not when he had to conserve his fluids.
But we forgot to mention that Dickie is a part of the Motorheads group. So he's like really big into his car. He likes to fix it up. He's about to go cruising the coast next year, or scraping the coast, whichever one he wants to do. I'm not sure which is his forte, but I just know it's not going to be Black Spring Break.
Something's fucking wrong with you. So yeah, that's the dynamic at school. So
Cradle Bay High.
So Steve is back at home, and his little sister has a little friend over, and they're having family dinner. Like, how she's cooler than him because she got a friend on the first day and she's over for dinner. Like, what the fuck? And she said they bring up Steve and Lindsay's dead brother, and the girl's like, oh yeah, Alan. She's like, oh, that's my dead brother's name. And she's like, oh, when my grandpa died, you just trying to, I don't know what this was. Like, I would have just been like, oh, sorry to hear that. But
she's an awkward kid. I get it. You're gonna just say something to try to make you seem like you fit in.
And then the dad's like, let's change subject. And then Steve's like, oh, well, unlike your grandfather, we can't talk about our dead brother. And he like storms off. So that explains the tension between him and his dad. Like, apparently they're not allowed to talk about their brother who died 8 months ago.
But it goes nowhere. Like, this was a plot that did not need to be in this movie.
I guess. Well,
he could have moved for work.
He could have, but it's supposed to be their motivation of moving here because they want, to save the kids. I really feel like this movie had more plot when I was younger. It just okay.
No, I just think we're older. So that evening, we see Dickie headed out to the dock, to the pier to pick up a car part. He's like, hey, man, you got the carburetor I was looking for? And he looks around and it's all the blue ribbons surrounding him. All of them standing there. They got like metal pipes and bats and shit. And instead of Mr. Dickie jumping in the lake and swimming off, this motherfucker tried to fight him one-on-one. I'm like, what do you think this is? Jet Li at the end of the one? Like, you're not gonna win, baby. You're not gonna win. And guess what, bitch? He don't win. Because the next day he gets to school. We see Dickie, we see all of the blue ribbons, and I think we skipped a part. Did he meet Rachel already?
No. He meets her after this. Because they go into the they leave the cafeteria and
okay, yes, you're right. So we get back to the school and we see Dickie with his car, his amazing, I don't know, 1957 Firebird. I don't know.
Okay, you're rushing.
So was it a Mustang?
No, I'm saying you're rushing because Rachel was out there when he was doing that. But they see Dickie, they see that he's transformed, and Gavin's all broken up about it.
What did I skip?
Steve doesn't give a fuck. Then they go out and they meet Rachel. She's standing on the car, she's dancing and doing all that. You're
wrong this time, buddy, pal. Rudy.
I guarantee you I'm not. I will bet $10.
We see Dickie meeting up, and he, instead of trying to fight him, the next day we meet the school psychologist. So I skipped this part. We meet the school psychologist. So he suggests that Steve joins the Blue Ribbons, and he calls it a motivational workshop. He can meet all of his friends there. And Steve's like, sure, Jan. And he leaves at the office, and that's where we see Rachel doing the Lady Gaga dance in the new Bruno Mars video. Wow.
And she's supposed to be like hot white trash. That's how her friend describes her. Like,
she looks pretty because she's a pretty woman, but she also looks like she stinks.
So you think they did a good job? I feel like they don't do this in movies anymore. They don't they have to keep them pretty. Like they don't.
Mm-hmm. Like people are too scared to shave off their eyebrows for a movie role. Like I'm like, get into character, baby. It might just be a 90s teens angst movie, but
like they have
I'ma eat it up.
They are not Demi Moore and G.I. Jane.
I love teen movies. I think that is something, besides horror movies, teen comedies are like my favorite genre. I have not been able to get out of the loop, and I love it.
I feel like
I just finished one today, a Brazilian one.
Get the fuck out of here.
Thanks, Netflix. At the end, I was like, that was so good. That was so good. Guys, if you have a chance, watch Back to 15 on Netflix. Yes, so you're right. So he sees that. Then Gavin introduces Rachel as Cook's rich trash. Like,
that's her friend.
And then he says, hey, let's all hang out. And she was like, Razor.
Fuck you.
Get with the
fuck
razor.
That, fuck this, and fuck you.
And they go down to the grocery store and they try to get people to buy them booze because obviously they're underage and bitch, it ain't working. And then Pierre's favorite person comes up, Chug.
Chug has like this crush on Rachel and she not having it. And so because like, so he goes into he goes into one of his rages and he just started beating the fuck out of people.
Well, there's a reason why. So we definitely have to.
I didn't want to tell that plot. You want to tell it now, though?
Yeah. So he invites Rachel to go out, and she's like, and then he goes into the store, and there's a lady in line holding up coupons. Now I'd be ready to fucking beat somebody up if somebody was holding up the line for some coupons. You know, somebody wrote a check in front of me the other day. I said, "How dare you? How dare you?"
Damn, a check. Wow.
And he stares at Rachel, and you see him just kind of going, and we don't necessarily know what it is, but for some reason, he looks like maybe he wants to just eat her face off or something like that, or her ass. We're not sure which one. Oh my God. But he wants to do something, and someone bumps into him while he's in the line, and he smashes his carton of milk. There's the milk again, and he, like Pierre said, he beats the fuck out of these guys. Like
he sticks his fingers up their nut. Like, oh my, like just
no,
mutilate.
He put his finger up his nose and pulled out his septum ring. That's why he did that. He didn't just stick his fingers in the nose like he was fucking undercover brother or some fucking bullshit like that.
That was
He
undercover
pulled
brother.
his nose ring out. Who did that? Didn't Chucky do
Um,
that?
Chucky, it was a lip. It
Oh,
was
lip
the
ring.
yeah,
Yeah.
lip ring.
Yeah.
Oh, you just
It was so like he was tossing them into the meat. Like they gotta like cancel out all that meat. They could have sold that to somebody. Now they gotta market as fucking damaged goods. Oh, I was so mad.
And the sheriff sitting there the whole time, don't take out a goddamn thing. Talking
He's
about
like, again.
Oh, you young whippersnappers, pissing me off. Like, and
He
everybody
had
just
the sheriff had his food. He had his Italian bread. For some reason in movies they always get a big old loaf of Italian bread. I don't know why I'm saying like that. Italian bread, and he probably had some cold cuts. And when the guy starts fighting, he just throws the food down and walks over to stop it. I'm like, why you couldn't just sit that food like on the counter? He throws it on the ground. Like, boy, what you doing? Like, now you gotta discontinue that. Yo, the disrespect. Groceries so damn expensive. I'm being real defensive over food right now.
You are.
I'm tired of spending money on groceries.
Yeah, they were. I thought the shit was getting lowered. That's what they promised us last month. So
yeah, but Rachel thinks it's steroid. She thinks it's
steroids.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Makes sense. Yeah. But yeah, Gavin has other theories. So what I don't even know what you call this, the fucking Freddy Krueger boiling room. And
it's a boiler room. Okay, it really is.
So he takes Steve down there to give him some throat, and Steve is like, no,
that's where they go to smoke.
Gavin is down there, and he's like telling him about the incident that he saw on the cliff when he was hiding behind the rocks like fucking Scar. And Steve is not buying a damn thing he's saying. Like, he's just going on and on and on. And he even tells him,
I wouldn't either.
He even tells him,
bitch, I bet you 2 days ago.
He even tells him, like, I used to be friends with a lot of the guys who are part of the Blue Ribbons now. Like, we used to all be friends. He's like, maybe they got sick of your shit. Steve is just like, I don't even know what kind of, it's like, he's an asshole, but he's like, I don't know how to describe him. Because he's just like, I don't know. He's very insulting. And but Gavin's just not stopping. He's like, dude, you gotta believe me, man. You gotta believe me, dude. As he's smoking weed. And they all just think it's because Gavin smokes weed that he's paranoid, and they're just very dismissive of everything that he's saying. Even the albino doesn't really pay him any mind.
They meet the school janitor, Mr. Newberry, down there as well.
I don't understand why he had to be carrying a rat. I didn't understand that. I didn't appreciate that.
Because he's working on some new audio technology to kill rats. I guess it makes their little brains explode. I don't know. But he's creating some device and gotta kill the rats. Gotta get the rats from down here. And they're like, okay, have a good day, sir. Bye.
And for some reason, all the preps calling him the R word. But okay. So, to convince Steve what's really going on, Gavin takes Steve to a mysterious meeting where all the parents in town are meeting with a...
So this is the part where we go outside and we see Dickie smashing his car. So he's dressed like the Blue Ribbons, and everybody is like, what the fuck is going on? Because that was Dickie's prized possession. Like, why would he do that? And he's like, oh, I had a change of heart. And this is where we see the other black guy that is part of the Blue Ribbons. And he's like, yeah, guys, right on. And I wanted to just choke him.
This doesn't make any sense. Because what does his car have to do with...
If anything, he should have sold it. That would have made more sense. Like, oh, I got tired of doing this. Like, there were other people in the motor club that he could have sold that damn thing to. I guess they just wanted to, like, push home the fact that he is definitely somebody completely different.
Yeah.
And then Steve heads over to the yogurt shoppy, and Trent shows up and he's like, hey, Steven, come join our table. And he takes him over to a table where there's all the other Blue Ribbons just sitting down having their chocolate frosty from Pop's.
What the fuck?
From Pop's Diner. And Steve questions Trent and Gavin's relationship, because now Trent, or I'm sorry, not Trent and Gavin, Trent and Dickie's relationship, because Dickie is now part of the group, and like as we saw earlier in the movie, they were beefing and fighting in the classroom, and he's like, "Oh, we turned a new leaf. We're great pals now." And then Gavin shows up, and he's like, "Steve, let me talk to you real quick," and they all read each other, but Steve agrees to leave with Gavin and give him one more chance, and now we can talk about how they meet up at the school.
Yeah, they're at this. It's like the secret, super secret private meeting, and the parents, all the parents in town
I thought
are
it was
there.
a PTA meeting.
All the parents in town are there. And the doctor there.
Dr. Caldecott. Dr. C.
That is not his fucking name. Please tell me that's not his name.
Caldecott. Caldicott.
Oswald Cobblepot. Okay. So yeah, and they're basically talking about the kids, and they're these two parents are like, well, we noticed that after they went through the program, you know, our kids have become pretty snobbish against other people who are not in the program, and he just dismisses it, and he's just like, oh, that's just, you know, them wanting to do better, just some bullshit.
Basically, that it takes time for them to kind of, he doesn't say recalibrate, but he wanted to say recalibrate, but it takes them time to like adjust to their new mood and their new feelings about the outside world. Lies, tell me sweet little lies.
But it's like, you don't, that's it's so weird to me. It's like, I don't, this movie is weird because it's like, these are not good kids. They jump people, they beat people up. They're like rude, they say slurs, like what?
Because they're tweaking. They are glitching. Before Gavin was able to convince Steve to go there, he shows him a picture of him with Bobby, Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike, and Trent, and they were all like dressed in punk rock outfits, you know, Rager, Razor, Rock On, with your bad self, all of that. And that's when Steve agrees, like, okay, I'll go see what you're talking about. But yes, he thinks that basically people have been lobotomized and brainwashed. And
yeah. So then he gets freaked out because he's the doctor introduces two new parents whose son is too busy masturbating.
I can't believe they said that. That was so embarrassing.
To not be a student, and he has potential, so they let him come. They let them come on in, and it is actually Gavin's parents. So he's like, he freaks the fuck out, and you know,
he should.
And it's so weird when like they do this in movies because like he freaks out and they leave the school and go all the way down to the damn pier. I mean, not the pier, but the damn beach, all on the rocks and shit. And I'm like,
well, we didn't get the map of Cradle Bay. We don't know how far that is.
Like, y'all walked all this way, and he's just freaking out. He's like, no, man, no, they're not gonna do it to me, man. And Steve's just like, dude, chill out. Like, no, I don't understand how he didn't find that meeting weird, but he's just like, dude, chill out. And he's like, no, man, I'm gonna blast him. So he pulls out a gun. He got a whole pistol ready for they motherfucking asses when he get home. And Steve like takes the gun from him. And he's like, Steve, don't leave me, man, don't leave me, man. Like, I don't know.
You're the only friend I have.
This movie did give fear. I'm sorry. It just, maybe the location is what gave fear, but
it was down the street.
It might. Hey, when the fear came out, it might have been filmed during the same time. So,
and that was, I think that was the worst thing he could have done. He should have let him go with that gun. Pop him up, baby. Do what you gotta do. Save your life.
Which, I mean, I would have just been like, stay at my house or something like that.
Well, he did ask him to stay at his house, and Gavin's like, no. I mean, Gavin should have went out and slept on a boat on the lake or something for the night. Like, why does he go home? That's what I was thinking about myself. I was like, he's probably not gonna go home. Or I would have just went with Steve and just laid low.
Went by Rachel, your friend, or UV. So I'm just, I didn't understand.
Yeah, it was weird. He didn't want to go to Rachel's old
shut up
raggedy ass house we see later. So the next day, we see like the POV of somebody walking into the school, and everybody's like, oh my god. And Rachel said, who put the acid in my spam? I rewound that 5 times. Then I cut on the closed caption to make sure this is what she said. Who put the acid in my spam?
If they're serving y'all spam, it's time to move.
Well, I think she had her own lunch. But yeah, so Rachel's like, oh, hell no. Like, why, Gavin, why do you have on fucking penny loafers? and his Letterman jacket. So she goes up and she's like, Gavin, what's the dealio? And he's like, oh, Rachel, I just opened up my potential. One day you will too, bitch. And then he pushes her in the forehead and she walks off. He should have, but he didn't. And then Steve goes to try to talk to him, and then the blue ribbons are like, partner, not up in this house. Not up in this house. And they push Steve down, and little old UV tries to go over there. They toss his ass over a table.
And it's just like, I didn't understand. So that is
a chance.
Steve just loses it. Like, I'm sorry, but I would have just walked away because it didn't seem, I don't know, but he loses it. So he grabbed a chair. And I'm like, is it this level of serious? Like, they didn't really do anything besides push him.
That would have. I ain't no punk bitch.
That's what he said. And he grabbed the chair. He's smashing on one. He pop another. But of course, it's a whole damn team of them. So, they do in traditional fashion. They jump his ass and they just kick him, knock him down, kick him. He bloodied and bruised. And then Gavin helps him up. And he's just like, Steven, should have given me that cock. And he knees him in the stomach. And I'm sorry, there was like, come on. And he knees him in the stomach. And yeah, Steve is officially broken at this point. And now he want to believe his motherfucking ass. Like, bitch, overnight? This happened overnight? Fuck up my face.
Right. It's like, I guess Gavin's took really fast because Dickie didn't come to school the next day. He came to school the day after.
Yeah.
And was beating up his car. Gavin's was immediate.
That's why I'm like, this movie is moving hella fast because I swear it's at the 50-minute mark already.
Baby. So now we have Steve. He going to eat in the boiler room. And this
at least he didn't eat in the goddamn bathroom, Tiffany.
Thank goodness.
Like,
or under the bleachers. We are so tired of those two locations, bitch.
Like, if y'all don't eat that fucking food at the table by yourself like some grown-ass teens.
If you don't just bring a sandwich and walk and eat. So we get the Mr. Newberry comes in and he's like, hey, what you doing in here, huh? And Steve notices a advanced ass book in his back pocket. And he's like, what are you doing reading? I can't remember who it was.
Florence Nightingale. Why did I say that?
J.R. Tolkien. Why are you reading J.R. Tolkien?
Wow.
And Mr. Newberry brushes him off like, get out of here. I don't know why that's even there. I use that to spit in. Just something stupid just to get him out of there. And before Steve can leave, Mr. Newberry's like, all right, come on down. You'd be surprised how interesting people become when they think you're really stupid. So I think he does have the speech impediment, but he's not slow. But that makes sense. An act.
It makes sense, especially for that time period. That's what I'm gonna do. It makes sense, especially for that time period. Anything that's different, they just think you're like, think about how we treated autistic kids back then. So, technically still now, but yeah. So he's revealed to be a smarty pants, and him and Steve grow a little bond.
That's right. Steve heads home. This was just a random little scene.
Oh God, Steve heads home.
It's supposed to be, I guess this was supposed to be like our scary moment of the movie, but no, it wasn't scary.
Is it Laura or Lauren?
Lorna.
Okay. So she's there at his house and he's like, what the fuck are you doing here? And she's like, oh, I was tutoring your little sister, but she's upstairs.
She's asleep.
Yeah, she's
so
asleep.
Bitch, why is you here?
Thank you. And then your parents are gone. And so he's like, all right, well, leave.
Like, she's old enough to stay by herself.
Where is this accent coming from? And so she's like, all right, well, I'll leave, but can I use the bathroom first? He's like, yeah. So he gets him a glass of milk.
Bitch.
He needs strong bones because he's a growing boy. And so she's in the bathroom and she's like washing her hands, but she can see him through the mirror. And she gets hot in here because he's fine as fuck with his bone structure. And so she like, damn, I want some of that rock hard cock. And so she started pouring the water on her hair and she unbuttons her blouse. I mean, not unbuttoned, but she has it tied up in a bow.
She got that idea from True Lies when Jamie Lee Curtis was getting all ready. She splashed the plant water on her hair.
No, I don't. So she comes out of the bathroom and Titty's just out. And
I was like, wait a minute. I thought this was a PG-13.
Baby, I saw it. You ain't see that R in the Tubi screen? It's after every goddamn commercial. So
I didn't pay it no mind. At least they let you know when the commercials coming up. Advertisement in 5, 4, 3, 2.
and so she's just like, you don't want me, you want my body, you want it, you want it. And she like tries to kiss him, but he's like, I'm not feeling this, I'm kind of gay. And then he like rejects her, and then she's like, I know I'm not supposed to be doing this, I'm a bad girl, I'm a bad girl. So she slams her fucking head into the mirror, like, and now she's gushing blood.
Like she's Jill Roberts or some shit like that. I'm not supposed to be doing this. It's bad, wrong, bad, wrong, bad, wrong.
Acting like one of them Austin Powers fembots. And so she takes a piece of glass. Double whammy. She takes a piece of glass like Einhorn, like Lois Einhorn in Ace Ventura. Die, animal boy! And she goes at him with some glass. He tussles with her, throws her, and then she just starts, oh, I have a bio in the morning. Like, I gotta go.
He said, I gotta go home. I have a big physics exam tomorrow. Then she leaves like
just some weird ass.
Bad,
weird ass.
Wrong, bad, wrong. So basically, we find out because we're back at the Dexter's laboratory with Dr. Caldecott. And he actually says out his mouth, the dopamine levels of the kids go through the roof when they get aroused, and they have been lobotomizing everybody. So when they get turned on, they get aggressive. Sounds like an incel to me. Yeah. So Rachel, she's like, I gotta go get me a smoke. So she heads down to the boiler room. And in the boiler room, she opens up the furnace, I don't know, and she finds the smokes and a DVD.
At least it wasn't a VHS, damn it.
Yeah, so then we hear, you know how long it would take them to convert that into a... Then we hear the door open and close, and it's big ass Chug lame ass following her down there. Luckily, the super is there too, so I was like, phew, hopefully it won't be too fucking rapey. But it was close enough.
Yeah. Chug, he's like, hey, I want to go out with you. She's like, no, I would never go out with you. So he
said,
pins her.
Why?
Pins her against the wall. Of course, he has to grope her tit, and then he has to unbuckle her bit. Like, just some rape. How many movies have we reviewed, and how many rape scenes have been in them? Like, come on now.
It's been like every movie, because my first answer is gonna be, I have chlamydia. I got the clap.
So
she reads his ass to filth. I appreciated that. She does do that. And then he goes like real psycho. Like you said, he was groping her, and he was about to do what we did not want him to ever do.
But then this little device that Newberry has in the boiler room that he's supposed to use to, I guess, repel rats, but it don't repel the damn thing, but the blue ribbons. So he starts going fucking insane. Like, it's like a screeching noise to him, like maybe like a dog whistle. And so she runs up out of there. She's like, oh, fuck this. I ain't got time for this. And the guy just freaks out. Apparently he can hear where it's from, like, he can sense the source. So he like goes and he smashes it and breaks it. And then Newberry is just watching him. He grabs his wrench. He like, I'm about to clock this motherfucker if he come after me. But after he destroys it, he starts acting normal. And so he has to call him the R word again. And he's just like, what you looking at? Like, you fucking fat.
But guess what, bitch? You just sealed your fate, baby.
Because now we know your weakness.
We know how to kill you. Exactly.
We know your weakness. How?
And we see the just random ass blue ribbons driving past Steve's house like some stalkers. Like, go home.
They're eyeing his sister.
Oh yeah, they want her to join the little blue ribbons.
Yeah.
So Steve makes his way over to Rachel's house, and she's like, "I got something to show you, baby."
And where Rachel lives? Tell them where she lives. She lives in a double wide.
The trailer perk. I've seen some nice trailers though. So she's living there, and she shows him the Scream 2 footage of Randy. Talking about,
I quit. It's Scream 3, but I quit.
It was in Scream 3, but bitch, it was filmed during Scream 2.
Yes, it was. I hate you. Why did you say
Try
that?
Try again. So Rachel she investigated Caldecott, and he was basically a mind control doctor that worked at the psych ward in Bishop Flats. And Steve was like, hey, the ferry leave in 10 minutes. You want to go? And she's like, Bishop Flats? And he said, yeah, why not? She thinks for 1, 2, 3, razor. Grabs her jacket and they bounce.
Stop. She did not say it that much in this movie.
She said it 3 times in this movie.
That's not a lot. Well, again, the movie was 30 seconds. So they go down to the mental hospital and it's
Why
giving
is it like this?
I'm like, what the fuck is this?
It's giving textbook bullshit.
Yeah. This
Why is everybody acting ridiculous? Like, these people are walking around in circles, slapping their heads, you know, just acting just out of pocket.
acting like Special Officer Doofy. Just a fucking mess.
Look, I told you not to disturb me when I'm cleaning my room. Like, all of that shit. Like, it was so much. They were so erratic, and they walk past this, like, the I don't know, I guess the fucking game room that all of them were in, and they see some girl in a room in a rocking chair, and she keeps repeating, "Meet the musical little creatures that hide among the flowers. Meet the musical creatures that hide among the flowers. Meet the musical creature that hide among the flowers." She gets really loud, and it attracts all of the other patients to the room, and they start bamming on the wall because they want that bitch to shut up too. Because they said, "I don't want to hear this shit. You say this all fucking day. Shut the fuck up, bitch." So they try to calm her down to get her quiet, and Rachel's like, "Look, we can't have this." So she goes, pow, and busts old girl in the face and knocks her out. And then that causes all the other patients to like walk off, and security's like, "Oh, I guess there's nothing going on here. Let me go have another donut."
Like, come on now.
Like, it's just ridiculous. And then they see that on the bracelet, the girl's name is actually Caldecott. So this is Caldecott's daughter. So obviously he doesn't give a fuck about his daughter, and he proves that to us a little later too, because my goodness. So they head out. They're like, "Okay, we gotta go back. We're going to get UV. We're going to get Lizzie. We getting the fuck out of Cradle Bay. We are done." Like, it moved so fast, like you said. Like, I couldn't believe that we just found out what happened, and now they ready to go.
To be fair, that's how we always want these movies to go, though. Oh, something wrong? Get the fuck about it.
You know what? This is moving as fast as like The Faculty, because I feel like there should have been so much more to The Faculty. Like, them just kind of figuring everything out. They knew it immediately. Like, we seen one movie, we seen them all. And that's how this feels. Like, everybody in the fucking mental asylum was like the fucking inbreds from Wrong Turn. Like, what are we doing here? Why are we doing this? It's a lot. So they run out, they leave, they hop a ferry back over to Cradle Bay. And they're like, "All right, time to fill up the gas tank." And I'm thinking to myself, do you really need to fill this gas tank up right now?
Just to take the car to the ferry? Or they're putting the truck on the okay. Maybe just, I don't know. Because you can really fill it up when you get over. Okay.
Yeah, think about it.
Isn't this where the sex scene?
No, so they go up to the gas station, and one of the cops pulls in. And the cop pulls like 20 feet ahead of them and gets out and starts walking over. I would have been like, "Reverse, reverse, reverse, reverse." Like, I don't have time to talk to you.
About Mr. nothing. We ain't doing nothing wrong. Like, so what?
He's like, "What are y'all doing out? Oh, so late." And they're like, "Oh, we're studying." "I don't see any books in there." Like, get up and mind your business, bitch. We ain't got time for that. Yeah, Newberry shows up in his El Camino with a tarp over the trunk. And when he gets out, the cop is like, "What the hell are you doing here?" Newberry's like, "Oh, I've got to kill these fucking rats." Like, he talks about rats though, and he had a rat. Like, he had a rat at his disposal.
Yeah.
Like, somebody asked you for a piece of gum and they got it in their pocket. Where's your rat? Where's your cell phone? Where's your rat?
It was one of the best parts of the movie. Because, excuse me,
it was ridiculous. So the cop pulls Rachel out of the car. He's like, "Yeah, I got a question." He pulls her out of the car and takes her over to the squad car. And Steve is like, "What the hell are you doing?" And he punches him in the gut. Steve got so many gut checks. And he puts both the kids into the back of the police cruiser for... We find out why. But at this moment, it's like, why would you even be arresting these kids? But too late, Newberry socks the cop in the back of the head, and he's like, "Get out of the car, kids." And they're like, "What?" He's like, "Get out of the damn car!"
Like, just dumbasses.
Why were they wasting so much time?
Because they needed the movie to be 30 seconds, not 25.
And now we're at the climax. Like we're finally it happened
It's
so
over.
fast. They rush to go pick up Rachel, and they get to the
Lindsay.
house, and damn it, they rush to go pick up Lindsay. They get to the house, and Steve's like, "Lindsay, do you trust me?" And Lindsay's like, "Yeah, I trust you, big bro." And the parents come over to the corner, and they're like, "Hey, Steve, don't be hasty. We don't have to do all this." And Steve's like, "Okay, well, if you're with me, we need to get out of here. We need to go back to Chicago, and we need to, save our souls." And and he thinks that the parents are on their side, and then whoops, turn to the left. Caldecott bitch ass come in the house. His parents sign him up for the fucking program.
Which I didn't understand because he's not a bad kid. Like, he's not what, you know what I mean? Like, he's not.
Neither is the daughter.
Yeah. Like she
I
was
can
literally.
understand maybe Rachel's parents maybe signing her up,
Mhm.
but their parents, no.
I didn't understand this. So yeah, he's like, "Oh, you motherfuckers, you fucked me over. You motherfuckers, you fucked me over." And he tries to like leave, but baby, he's ambushed. Again, I don't understand how the parents justify this. Cause like he's ambushed by like the blue ribbons and they beat his ass. And it's like,
Right.
and he's just
Well,
like,
I think at that point, his parents were probably, wait a minute, this is not what we signed up for. So I think that Steve's parents were kind of like, okay, this ain't it.
Well, we don't get to find out because we never see them again.
Never.
So they drag Steve down to the, I don't know where the fuck they are, the Chamber of Secrets.
To the warehouse from Hostel.
Because I'm like, why wouldn't it just be a regular doctor's office? But yeah, so because the parents know of what you're doing, so what you're doing is technically legit according to them. So what do you need some deep dark cellar for? So they
good question.
He take him in there, and Steve lets him know, "Bitch, I know about your daughter." He starts reciting the thing that she. I feel like we didn't get
walks beyond the rose.
We haven't done those movies. Jay made me realize last episode we have not done a lot of slashers. We have not. We haven't done Friday the 13th
for you because I've decided what we're doing next. You will see at the end. Purple drapes. All my life I've wanted purple drapes. Do you remember that episode of The Simpsons?
Stop talking to me. I don't watch The Simpsons.
Okay, so Marge was trying to sell, she became a realtor in one episode, and she was trying to sell a house that a family was murdered in, and she was told to like smudge that and just basically just talk about how beautiful the house is, but it was weighing on her conscience. And she took Flanders into the house, and she was like, "Here, you will see the lovely living room." And Flanders goes, "Ah!" And she looked like, "Oh my God." And he's like, "Purple drapes! All my life I've wanted purple drapes."
You're having a roll this episode.
Whenever somebody shrieks, that is what I think of. Purple drapes.
You are having a roll this episode. I'm so happy for you.
It's the red wine. It's the red wine.
Oh, so you're drink. Oh, you and Jay are some fucking drunks. Okay. Well,
purple drapes.
Take it to the head.
Oh, I'm done. I'm done now. It's time for water because I feel like a headache's coming on.
Take it to the head.
So Caldecott, what I don't understand is Caldecott is basically going to do the lobotomy on Steve, but it's like, shouldn't you be trying to perfect your program with all of the people who are acting crazy instead of bringing more and more people into the program? Okay, but no, I guess the parents paid for it.
So I guess they go to programming before the lobotomy because he just has him watching a bunch of shit.
It reminded me of the
the
brain. You already know it. The brainwashing on Undercover Brother. Here we go. Here we go. One more time. Everybody's feeling fine. Here we go now. Had him watching Leave It to Beaver.
So Steve is like struggling to get out of the chair. I don't understand how he's the only one who because I'm sure none of the kids wanted it. So I don't understand how he's the only one who managed to break free. I don't understand that.
Because he was able to grab the scalpel.
Steve breaks the fuck free. And what does he do? He doesn't try to save himself. He immediately goes looking for Rachel because Rachel got snatched too. And he like helps her out of her little thing. But she's fucked up. It's clearly she already watched the thing. because he had to like slap her awake, like she barely breathing and all that
Mhm.
kind of shit. So she's stumbling. And so it's like, it's weird. There's no fucking security except fucking Chud.
I think it was late at night. Security went home.
Security went home. That's the whole fucking point.
Right. They should have been in the place instead of creating a roadblock towards the end. Like, they should have been in the place looking at him, like, watching him with, like, fucking making a circle around his body.
What the fuck is this? One of us.
But yeah,
one
so
of
so
us.
after watching the Project 2025 brainwashing video, Rachel is kind of like out of it, and she's just not too sure. You know, she's trying to wake up. She's trying to wake up, and then while they're leaving, they see Chug, lame ass, and he was waiting on Rachel to be programmed. Oh, nasty ass motherfucker. So Steve tries to fight him, but he barely can because he's been knocked out. But you know what? Rachel comes up with the okie doke and busts his ass in the face with a pipe, and this actually kills him because we see some blood draining on the ground, and we were ready for it. We wanted more. We wanted more.
I like it was a satisfying.
I wanted his penis removed, like in Hostel 2. I wanted his penis removed, but we'll settle for the head bust.
Yeah, he was just one of the most unlikable characters. Like, ew. And he's just one of those guys who feels like because he likes a girl, she has to like him back. And if she doesn't,
you know why? Then... You know why? Because he's a nice guy.
Oh yeah, I'm a good guy. I don't understand. I'm a good guy, so that means give me things. You're performing. So
very performative.
So yeah, now it's time to get the fuck up out of town. So damn, I got lost. Because
Rachel and Steve run out. Yuvi and Lindsay are in the truck to pick them up.
Yeah. Which Yuvi is a good friend. Because like the fact that he knew to go do that, I really respected that. I know his character is just a side character, but that's really because you like, I mean, most like I just thought that was good. Like that was cool that he already had her in custody.
Because he was at the house when all that was going down and Steve was getting ambushed. UV was hiding behind a tree.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that
was good. Correct. So they're leaving. They want to go catch a ferry. They said fuck clothes. They said fuck all that, and that's what you're supposed to do, baby. That's what you're supposed to do. They run into a roadblock and it's Caldecott and all the blue ribbons assembled like they're the fucking Avengers or some bullshit like that. Who the hell told them to be there waiting? Did somebody radio Caldecott? Steve broke out Caldecott. Like who? That part just didn't make any sense. And honestly, they were in a big old truck. They should have fucking floored it. Yeah. I would have ran them bitches down. That's all you would have heard, them under my tire. But they don't. They don't.
Caldecott roll up. He roll up and get out like it just.
Yeah, they get out of the car like some big dummies, and then we hear like fucking Dukes of Hazzard. Newberry showing up in his car, and he sideswipes the fuck out of Caldecott. I mean, he need hip surgery after this. I know he do.
But somehow he doesn't, because he gets up and apparently he gets up and immediately starts shooting at him. Like because the milk. This is true.
It might be Miak.
He starts shooting at him. I couldn't tell if he got hit by a bullet. Did he get hit by a bullet, and that's why he was breathing hard at the end? I thought he had got hit.
Yeah. So Newberry turns on his car. He turns on the big speaker system that he has, the bump in the trunk, like he's on the pest or some shit like that. Gonna make you sweat. How you like that, baby?
What's your problem? Something's wrong. They're gonna lock you up after this episode.
You tell me I didn't have enough material. Bitch, I'm giving you all the material this time.
I don't want a lot of it. I like it when it's very you'd be surprised how I think, oh, we didn't do much, and then it still be 20 minutes long.
But anywho, so he turns on the speakers and all of the kids go insane. They go feral and they start jumping on the car, and they're just like hanging on the car while it's just swaying back and forth. And somehow Steve gets a motorcycle. I don't know how, but he's
because he grabbed one of their motorcycles.
Oh, okay. So when they're waiting,
he drives after him, and he's like, "Newberry, what are you doing? What are you doing?" And he's like,
and he is shot.
He's like, but we can't let these kids, grow up, go to college, which is very smart. Like in hindsight, that's why I'm like, the parents don't even think like, if you don't want your kids drinking and having sex and stuff, how are they supposed to meet somebody and like, you know what I mean? Like if this thing malfunctions,
for their programming thing is they're supposed to have sex when they're married.
Oh, okay. Because I'm just like, it just seems dangerous to bring them to college where they're going to get a lot of triggers. Because I mean, come on, it's college. You're going to get turned on a lot.
Right, which is why he should be perfecting his program instead of
Yeah, because
adding
even
more to it.
Steve calls him out on it. He's like, they're gonna just rape and kill a bunch of people, and he's just like, oh, what did he say? You got to kill a bunch of people to make a cancer. He I don't know. He related it to like cancer research, and I was like, he's just really fucked up because like these kids are gonna do damage, but they're not because Newberry he's gonna drive off the cliff, so he gets them all on the car, like they're literally on the car. That's how bad this speaker system is hurting them. And
yeah,
he drives off.
They're ripping the cords and everything.
Yeah, and he drives off into the ravine, and all the fucking town, all the blue ribbons go with him. And
said, Hillary Banks, will you marry?
Are you watching the new Bel Air series?
I didn't even know they were on season 3, by the way. So I just started season 2. I'm like 3 or 4 episodes in. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
all right, okay. Yeah, I do too. But I've never, did I say this on this podcast? I've never seen Fresh Prince of Bel Air.
I mean, it's not really the same. I mean, it has like just the basketball element. Remember, he got kicked out of West Philly for playing basketball.
Yeah.
The same thing about the daddy not being there for him. And the characters have the same name. They live in Bel Air. That's pretty much all of the connections. Because it's not, I mean, the dad is a lawyer, all of that. But they kept like, their personalities are different.
Okay, because I mean, I like it. I just like I don't have a reference because I didn't just watch the show. But
no, I understand.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
And he does look like Will Smith, like.
Yeah, he does. But so Caldecott is back in action, and him and Steve have a good old.
I didn't understand the point of this. Like it was like,
I think
where'd your gun go, bitch? Where'd your gun go?
Instead of the ending that we got, I think it would have been smarter if Caldecott was the one that survived.
Oh yeah.
To continue on doing this. Yeah. But anyway, so Steve fights Caldecott and he ends up getting the upper hand. He pushes Caldecott off the cliff. He falls like cliffhanger. And Steve drives off on his motorcycle to the ferry. He told them hoes not to leave. But them bitches were all on the ferry.
Right. And so he made it lickety split. And he's just like, oh, well, I guess that's it. Wait, did we skip when Steve explains what happened to his brother? Because I distinctly remember what happened to his brother, but I feel like...
Yeah, we did. That was right before he and Rachel made it over to Bishop
Flats. Oh, yeah. And he basically explains that he was... I don't know. Was he trying to say that his brother was his brother like depressed? Like, he made it like he had to have something...
He heard voices, like basically, that didn't agree with him, and he ended up shutting the voices off. See,
that's not what I remember. Okay, so... Tell me if you remember this. Maybe it's a different movie that you can tell me. I remember distinctively there was a guy with an older brother who had died, but the way his older brother died was because his older brother fell in love with this girl. Their parents didn't want them to be together, and so they were supposed to leave town together. But the girl's parents stopped her from leaving, and so he thought that she left him, like she wasn't coming because she didn't love him, and so he killed himself. What movie is that?
I don't know, but I do remember that.
Okay, so I'm like, I thought that was this movie.
Yeah.
What the fuck was that movie?
Remember that. Now you need to Google it. Put that.
I know that plot was in the movie, and I'm like, I was waiting for him to say it, and he didn't, and I was like, wait a minute, what the fuck movie was
that? So he makes it to the ferry, and everybody's like, where are we gonna live? And she's like, the hell if I know, sugar. And they all leave Cradle Bay to start a new life. So, who are they staying with? Who's taking in 4 people?
Where's the money? They about to be like Jesse and Jade. They got $500.
If everyone was dead, they could have stayed in Cradle Bay.
Oh, well, I mean, and the doctor was dead, so there's no one to do the research anymore.
Which is why I guess
you don't trust your parents.
I don't understand. So in the final scene, we see a class at Dangerous Minds High School, and they're acting all rowdy. You hear, keep spending most our lives living in the gangsta's paradise in the background. And the principal walks in and introduces a new student teacher. And the teacher reveals himself to be Gavin, who is still programmed with the blue ribbon technology because his eye lights up and then we hear,
I feel like,
got you where I want you. So did the teacher... I feel like
this is racist because it was a black school.
Did the doctor, I said Dangerous Minds High School. Did the doctor teach him, or high school high, like a rhinestone cowboy? Did the doctor teach him the science of the mind control? So I'm saying it would have been smarter to let the doctor live instead of Gavin.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, that is the end of Dangerous Minds. Anyway, guys,
Disturbing
that's the end of
behavior.
Disturbing
What the
Behavior.
fuck is wrong with you this episode? This is hilarious.
Disturbing Behavior. For my rating, I'm going to give it a 5. I thought that I liked this movie more than I did, but I don't know, maybe as I get older, it's just not the same. But I still enjoyed it for the most part. I feel like so many parts were edited out that needed to be there, and the dead brother storyline was not needed. But it's still an enjoyable movie, and I think it was Razor.
I'll give it a 4. It just wasn't the same. Like, I don't like, maybe I literally remember it better than I thought. So I would probably give it a 6, but after watching it again, 4. It just wasn't, and it wasn't scary enough. Like the thriller vibe, the creepy vibe, it could have been way worse than just jocks beating, throwing people. Like it became goofy. I think it was too goofy. That's what it was.
It was pretty goofy.
Yeah.
All right, well, that will do it for 1998's Disturbing Behavior. Please be sure to follow us next week when we review the original Nightmare on Elm Street. We're bringing slashers back, baby!
Right before Halloween. Yes, indeed.
Have a good one. Bye!
Bye.
Where did you hide it, Dan?